Hey there, it's Jenny from Southern Savers. Glad to have you guys all join me tonight. It's our Monday night live Q&A, which is always fun. You guys keep me hopping most weeks, and we try to cover lots of topics. So this week, some folks asked, and kind of melding two topics together, but they kind of go together, and that is stockpiling and meal planning, and how those things can save you money. So first off, we're going to start with the stockpiling side of things. And on that, I don't want you to think hoarding, because that's the opposite. That is not stockpiling. Stockpiling really is that we're going to buy things when it's on sale and get enough of them to last us until it's on sale again. But to kind of walk you through what I mean by that, if I go into the store today, so one of the great deals that we got at Food Lion this week, or last week really, is canned tomatoes. These are 36 cents a can, and this is the big guy. It's the 28 ounce, so 36 cents a can. If I go in today and I buy 3 cans, because that's what my coupon was for, so I'm like, we'll just get a couple, we'll just get enough for a week. Well, come 2 weeks from now, I need canned tomatoes. They're not going to be 36 cents a can. That's really the goal, is that I want to be able to buy it when it's on sale and buy enough of it to last me until it's on sale again. And in case you panic, that doesn't mean you buy 100 of these. It means you buy enough for about 6 weeks. That's the basics of what we're trying to do. So if you were to go and you were to look at the Learn to Coupon page on Southern Savers, you would see that. We want to buy it when it's on sale and buy enough of it to last us until it's back on sale again. So I love you guys on Facebook all chatting in. We have folks from all over. Welcome, Rob, from I can't even pronounce your city, New York. It's awesome to have all of you guys from everywhere, Dallas and Newborn, Georgia, so kind of close by. I'm in South Carolina, and everything we're going to talk about tonight, and really all of our Q&As, by the way, in case you're brand new and just joining us, applies to any grocery store. Buy it on sale and buy enough of it to last you until it's back on sale again. Hello from Seattle, Kathleen, over on the YouTube side. So wow, we're just covering the country. Makes it even more fun. And for you, Kathleen, this is like you just got off from work. I did a Q&A live from Seattle, and it really threw me off to still have the sun up and going. So in terms of getting started on a stockpile, let me go back. So we're going to buy it on sale, and we're going to buy enough to last 6 weeks. What I mean by that 6-week mark, you will see it on sale again. Good job, Tawana. I'm glad you got 12. Yes, that's the goal. We buy it and we buy enough to last us. If we don't, if I go in and I get that 3 cans or even maybe 6 cans and then I leave, come 2 or 3 weeks from now, it's back up to full price. This can is normally $1.50 a can. I'm getting it for 36 cents. So I want to buy enough. I want to have a stockpile. Now the difference between stockpiling and hoarding, I only need enough for 6 weeks. I don't need enough canned tomatoes to last me 6 months. I will see the deal again. I promise. Everything comes on sale every 6 weeks. So I don't need 4 years worth of tomatoes somewhere in the garage. And you guys have seen folks that do this, and I'm not naming any names, and it could even be you, I don't know, but you just need enough for 6 weeks. So this isn't, we own 47 bottles of salad dressing or anything like that. It's just enough for 6 weeks. But keep in mind that that looks different for everybody. So if you live alone, your 6 weeks is going to be 1 or 2 of some things versus you don't want to know how much cereal is in my pantry. With 5 kids, I'm going to buy a lot of cereal, and if you live alone, you're going to buy like 3 boxes, and you're done. We all have different amounts that we need, but we still need to do it, because with 5 kids, if I can get cereal at 99 cents a box or less, I'm going to buy it. And in our pantry, it starts on this shelf and then it flows down to this shelf and it kind of keeps on going because I don't want to run out. And that's the other reason why we're stockpiling. Yes, I'm going to get it at a really great price and I'm going to get enough of it to last me, But the other side of stockpiling is that I don't have to have anything now. I don't have a moment where I look at the pantry and think, we really need sugar. It's all in the pantry. The problem, when you have to have something, you're going to get in the car and you're going to pay whatever you have to pay to bring it home. A lot of us are going to grab a house brand because we feel like that saved us some money. We feel like, okay, I did something. I grabbed the house brand. But in all honesty, I would have gotten a better deal if I had grabbed the national brand on sale with a coupon normally. So I want to be a sale-based shopper and not a need-based shopper. I mean, how many of us, before we go to the store, we start, making a list of everything that we need today in the store? That's your goal, is to get everything on this list. And if you don't, you're kind of upset. In reality, what you just did was make a list of everything that's not on sale today. And the odds of it being on sale are pretty slim. So we want to focus on the sales and buying enough of them. So Lauren, if you're having issues with the video breaking up, you have two options. One, you can pop over to Southern Savers and you can watch through YouTube. We stream to both places. Or second, the video actually saves and you can watch later if you wanted. So it's saved on our Facebook page and on our YouTube page. So if you ever have issues, sometimes it's my internet, sometimes it's yours. That's the tricky part with live streaming. So hopefully everyone can see pretty well, but you always have two options to watch. So we have a lot of folks that are just getting started, and I love that. I love that you're willing to dive in, because for some of us, I've been couponing now. I'm just kind of just realizing it for 10 years. We're hitting like a decade worth of savings. So to me, what seems like, this is just the way we do it. For other folks, this is brand new. The whole idea of we go to the store and we buy enough for 6 weeks is very foreign. So one of the questions I get a lot with stockpiling and the concept of stockpiling is, how do I afford that if I'm on a week-to-week budget with just making ends meet? Now, you're barely making it meet, and the idea of buying enough for 6 weeks kind of makes folks panic. So before you panic, I do want you to realize that buying 6 weeks worth of tomatoes at 36 cents a can is not as painful as it sounds. I'm not telling you to go in and buy 6 weeks worth at $1.50 a can, which is what you've normally been paying. So we're now buying these items at a fraction of the price. That's really the goal. And then buying 6 weeks worth isn't as painful. So to put that into numbers, let me bring back my cereal, because cereal's one of the biggest differences. Full price, a box of national brand cereal is about $4.50 a box. Maybe $4, depending on the brand that you're looking at. Full price. We don't want to buy full price. So if I go in and I buy it on sale and I use a coupon, I can usually get this for $1 or less. So for easy math, let's just go with $1. If I go in today and I buy 6 weeks worth of this cereal, let's just assume it's 6 boxes. That's a lot of Cinnamon Toast Crunch for some of you guys, but we're just going to assume it's 6 boxes. That is $6. If I went in every week for the next 6 weeks and I bought 1 box, that would be $24. So the difference, I'm buying 6 today at $1 a box versus 1 a week for 6 weeks. It's a pretty huge savings to just buy them now on sale with a coupon. So that's the goal of stockpiling, not hoarding, just getting enough for 6 weeks. I promise it will come on sale again. But that's why. I mean, right there, that one item, you just saved 18 bucks on one product. And then think about all the things in your pantry, or all the things that you wish were in your pantry if you're just getting started. It really does add up. So that's the concept of why we want to have a stockpile. Other sides to stockpiling, though, then folks will always throw in is, where in the world do I keep all of this? And I used to joke, it's still kind of true, in a sense of like, that's not my job. I tell you when it's on sale, you can figure out where to put it from there. But tonight I'll give you some tips, I guess. I am not a personal home organizer. My mother-in-law will even tell you that, because when NBC called and wanted to come and film in our house, I called her in desperation, like, please just come help me clean. So I don't get any organizational check mark next to my name normally, but in terms of organizing your food, I do encourage you to think outside the box. Not everything needs to be in the refrigerator. We can actually move a lot of items to the freezer. So you can freeze butter, you can freeze milk, cheese, lots of things that maybe you did grab a really great deal on and I need to stick it somewhere else. It can go in the freezer. And then a lot of items don't actually need to be in the pantry. You know, if you've got a tiny pantry or you just have a cupboard, maybe you're sticking your canned goods under the bed. When we first started couponing, lived in a little 2-bedroom apartment with twins at the time, so we were already kind of cramped once you throw in beds and swings and all the stuff that babies take. So canned goods lived under our shoes in our closet. It doesn't matter that they got a little dirty. You're going to open the can anyway. You're not going to eat it that way. So it worked. If you need to leave yourself little notes, like inside the cupboard of canned tomatoes are in the closet, pickles are under the bed, you can go there if you have to. But just get creative. It doesn't have to all be in one place, but we do want to grab it. And you know what? If you stick it in a funny place, no one really cares. You got a really great deal on it and you saved a lot of money. That was really the goal here. So in terms of stockpiling, don't let any of those common excuses be holding you back from saving a lot of money, because that's really why we're doing it. We're not doing it so that you can show off that you have 47 bottles of salad dressing. That's not the goal here. The goal is also to actually be able to park in your garage. So if you've reached a point where your stockpile has taken over and you can no longer use the garage, that would be probably on the side of hoarding. I can't park in my garage, but that's just because we are kind of a, I don't know. You could say we hoard other things, not food, but we've got lots of stuff. So no parking in my garage, but not because of food holding me back, just because I'm a pack rat on other items, but not here. So no bomb shelters are needed for a stockpile. Yeah, you get the point. We're just buying enough for 6 weeks. So another example, this guy has been buy one, get one. This is Campbell's new Well Yes soup. It's buy one, get one at Buy Low and Winn-Dixie starting next week. And we've got a lot of coupons for it. In the end, you're gonna get a can of soup for like 25 cents a can. This is a great item to grab and to stock up on. Think about, too, another side of stockpiling, and that even if I don't normally eat soup very often, this is good until 2018. So maybe I do grab a few on sale. It's not my favorite thing to eat, but it's in the pantry. A hurricane comes, the shelves have been cleared for days, you have food. And that's a perk of stockpiling. That's not necessarily money saving, but just peace of mind. You have an ice storm coming. For us, the floods that hit Columbia a year ago was very unexpected. We couldn't even get to town for a few days. We were just completely cut off, no power. We have a stockpile. We're good. I don't need anything. So that's a whole nother, we could go prepping if you want to, but just to throw that one out there as well. If you're kind of on the fence and you can't decide whether you really want to do it or not, just to add that one to the check mark of why you should. Okay, so to jump in to a few questions, Donna is asking on the YouTube side, do you have a list of what the rock bottom price or stockpile price is on the site that we can look at to figure out? So yes, if you go to the Learn to Coupon section on Southern Savers, from the Learn to Coupon section, you will find a by price list that you can download, and I'll put that in the YouTube comments there for you, Donna, but and my husband can stick it in for all of you guys on Facebook. It's very hard to run comments everywhere. But the buy price list on Southern Savers is a great way to be able to get an idea of what is a good price on the items that we're buying. And that price on the buy price list is really based on the sale and the coupon being used. So when you look at that buy price list, if you've never used it before, some of the items you're going to look at and be like, free. I have never seen free razors. They do exist. I promise. We see free toothpaste and all kinds of things like that all the time. But when you look at those prices, don't be blown out of the water. That really is after the sale and after the coupon. And we all see them. They're in the big stores that we're all shopping in. So hopefully that will help you as you get started, especially if you've never really been watching the prices of things as you get started. That's the trickiest part. So Erin's got a question that is Walgreens related. If I use Balance Rewards, not Register Reward paper coupons, but the Balance Reward points to pay for a transaction or part of it, can I still earn more points? Or do you only earn points on your out of pocket, I'm guessing is your question. So Erin, they made a lot of changes to Balance Rewards in the last year. And they did make it where you could earn points on some Balance Reward transactions, but not all. So there's still some quirks there, and keeping tabs on those quirks can be tricky. Remembering what will give me Balance Reward points and what will kick them out. And in all honesty, this is one of the reasons why I tell most folks, like, I don't know that you really want to start in Walgreens. There are a lot of quirks to be ready for. What I would tell you on it, that you get in the habit of buying your Register Reward items and paying for those with your Balance Rewards. And then all those Register Rewards that you use, using those to pay for your Balance Reward items. So I pay for Register Rewards with Balance Rewards, and I pay for Balance Rewards with Register Rewards. And then I don't ever have to worry about falling into a quirk that I wasn't expecting and items not letting me use the points. So there is a long, terms and conditions that you can follow on Balance Rewards. It's 5 pages long, looking at it all, that goes through how to earn points and what you can use them on and what you can't use them on. And seriously, like if we had to hit a 5-point document on how to use these, it's slightly complicated. So on that one, I don't want to give you an exact answer because keeping them straight is mind-boggling even for me, and I know I would tell you wrong. So I will stick this in the comments for you, Erin, and you can skim the 5-page document yourself and kind of see what's working and how based on what you're trying to grab. But what I would recommend, just to keep it, is that we always pay for Register Reward items with Balance Rewards and pay for Balance Rewards with Register Rewards. So we'll stick that in the comments though in just a second. Okay. Is it possible to get a good deal on Advantage for cats, the flea treatment? Yes, Karen, it is. It depends on where you want to grab it from, but there are lots of folks that now sell it online. It used to be one of those that you had to get from your vet. You don't have to with some online retailers. So one place that I would point you to, and it's kind of a weird one, is VitaCost. VitaCost offers Advantage and other flea products like that. And they usually have really good coupon codes. If you've never shopped there, there's a $10 off $30 purchase. So I would plug a lot of those in. VitaCost, PetSmart also has it, and they'll run 10 off 30s. Very often, and then possibly checking out jet.com. That would be another one where they always have those 15% off coupon codes. You're not going to end up getting it super free or even really in the cheap category. It's an expensive item. But yes, Jet does sell it. So grabbing it on any of those sites that have regular coupon codes would be the way to go. So Jonathan asks, how do the savings app like Ibotta and Checkout 51 and Savings Star, so how do they work, I'm guessing is your question. Those apps in particular, Jonathan, we've done a lot of videos on, but just the basics is that it's like a rebate. You're going to go into the store, you're going to buy the item in the store, you're going to come home and submit through the apps to get your money back. So don't think of it as coming off at the register. Think of it as an extra bit of savings. All of those apps can be used with paper coupons. So here's a deal for you. It's actually going to go up on Southern Savers after our video is over because that's how we work. I have things scheduled all through the day. But a fun deal if you have Bilo, Winn-Dixie, Harris Teeter, or Lowe's Foods. Anybody near one of those 4 stores, you can get Palermo's pizza through tomorrow in your store for as low as 24 cents a pizza, which is a really great price for a frozen pizza. I don't even care if it's a brand you don't like. It's 24 cents. So there's a new $2 off coupon that you can print on Palermo's. And then we have a $1.25 offer that you can submit through Checkout 51. So between the $2 off coupon and the $1.25 offer, Palermo's Pizza is on sale it's buy one, get one at Bilo, Winn-Dixie, Harris Teeter, and Lowe's Foods through tomorrow night. And you've got $3.25 off of one pizza by pairing that paper coupon and that that Checkout 51 offer together. You're going to pay as low as 24 cents a pizza, depending on the store that you go in. So Bilo and Winn-Dixie, it's the cheapest. Harris Teeter and Lowe's Foods, it's 74 cents a pizza, but still, that's a great deal. If you're already headed to the store tomorrow, I would add that one to your list. So that's kind of the fun way of using those mobile apps together. Okay, so a few other questions that have popped in. Yes, Rachel's helping you out, Dale. I am a CVS girl through and through because of the difficulties with Walgreens. I will, Dale, throw in that I like Rite Aid, but I know all my Florida folks don't have Rite Aid, so that makes it hard for you guys. You obviously can't get to one. Rite Aid is almost identical to CVS, and they have not been purchased by Walgreens yet, so we're gonna stick with both of those for now. Okay, and MobiSave is still around, so if someone's having problems finding it, it's still a very usable and good app. They have a lot of offers that are there. I think I'm all caught up on questions as we go through. So our Walgreens will not let you pay balance rewards and get points, so I stopped shopping there as much. Yes, so that's the tricky part, as the folks on Facebook were asking too. It's just kind of never really knowing when the points are going to work or not. So just kind of always do that register reward and balance reward flipping and flopping back and forth between the two. Okay, to jump back in to stockpiling again, there are a few items that do not follow a 6-week cycle. So versus instead of bringing in my whole pantry, I just tried to bring in a couple of items to show you guys. But anything that you would fit in the baking goods category does not follow a typical 6-week cycle. I'm not telling you that you have my permission to buy, the whole shelf of flour, but I do want you to realize that a lot of these items are going to more follow holidays. So I'm going to see baking items on sale at Christmas and Easter, Thanksgiving. We see a little bubble around July 4th, but other than that, you're going to be stuck with no flour, no, rapid rising yeast or anything that you needed for baking. So you want to keep tabs on those items and actually get enough, possibly out to the 12-week mark if you love to bake. You don't want to run low. Sugar is an exception in the South. If you do not live in the South, for my folks that are from Seattle tonight and New York, you don't live in the South. You've long known that. Your sugar does follow the other baking sales that are out there. In the South, sugar is like a necessity. This is sweet tea right here. It's a bag of sweet tea. So sugar for us does follow a 6-week cycle, if not more often, between the brands Domino and Dixie Crystals. But everything else, I want to get enough for a little bit longer. We have a month until Easter. We will start to see those baking deals pop in the beginning of April, if not that last week in March, right beforehand, but it's going to be a little while, so you want to grab enough. Michelle's got a great tip for everyone. If you have not used the CVS curbside, you want to make sure that you take advantage of that curbside offer. If you go to cvs.com, you'll see this at the top of the site. You'll also probably have an email from them as well. Keep in mind, curbside's not available in all cities, and that's the bummer for me. It is not available in my area. The nearest CVS is like an hour away to use curbside, so I'm not going to do that. But for anyone that it is in your city, it's a great way to save. Think about what's on sale and grab $15 of what's on sale. You're going to get $10 off and then have it right there for you. So it's a good way to get paper towels and laundry detergent, some of the bigger ticket items that the drugstores still sell. So Lauren, what's my stock up price for soup? Is there a sale on for soup? It depends on the brand as in terms of how cheap we'll get. For me, anytime I can get it really like I guess 75 cents or less a can, we will grab it. And we see that fairly often. One thing to remember with soup, and I'll just consider that I've planted you on that one, is that soup is another one that doesn't follow a 6-week sale cycle all year long. So soup and like hot cocoa, hot ciders, they're not on sale in the summer. You are not going to walk in the store and find it buy one, get one. You're not going to even find soup coupons in the summer. So the soup goes off sale April 1st, and it comes back on sale September 1st. So if you're a soup person, you want to get enough soup to last you that entire summer span. And for those of us, in the deep south, it's 110 outside. I'm not coming in and thinking, let me just have a nice bowl of hot tomato soup. They don't put it on sale because you're really not wanting to eat it. And that's why it's not on sale. It's not just because they didn't want to put it on sale. They kind of watch the trends of what people are buying. So those items I'm going to need to stock up on as well if you really, really love it, or that's your lunch on a regular basis. You just want to make sure you're good to go. Let's see. I couponed for years off and on, but not using a regular method. And then I got so busy with work that I would just pick out the coupons here and there. Now, since I've been home, and see, I can't read the rest. So Shanna, I don't know. Let's see. It's, there we go. My husband's going to give me the whole comment. So Shanna's saying, now that I'm back at it, I'm saving a ton, but I'm overwhelmed with the coupons. So what I would encourage, if the coupon part is the most overwhelming part, I don't know how you're organizing, Shanna, is that maybe you go to not cutting any of your inserts until you're heading to the store. So for me, I make a shopping list completely off of the list that's on Southern Savers and click all those little boxes, looking to see if I have any left in here. I always usually have a pile of a leftover shopping list from when I get home. But I'm going to click all those little boxes and make my shopping list. Then I'm going to print any coupons and cut any coupons from the Sunday paper, and then I head to the store. When I do cut those coupons, I write on the shopping list how many I plan to buy. So like a 3, a 2, just so I don't even have to think about that in the store either. It's just done, set. Usually will take about 35 to 45 minutes to get ready to go to the store. But as long as that's it, that's my only bubble. I'm not dealing with them any other day. I don't organize. I don't stuff into a binder. It feels a lot less overwhelming once you kind of get it pinned into just that little bit of time versus taking over the whole week if that's where you are. So what's the best system to set up and begin your stockpiling, and how do we keep up with it? Okay. So to get started, and someone also asked, and this will kind of answer your question too, on is there a setup for that sale cycle? I always get someone when I teach a workshop that asks, what week are we on? If you're getting started, this is week 1. So you're going to buy everything that's on sale that you will use. That's the key point. Please don't buy just everything. Everything that's on sale that you will use, you're going to buy 6 weeks worth of those items today. Next week, go in, buy 6 weeks worth of what's on sale and 1 week worth of what you have to have. So a little bit is it's not on sale. I've got to buy those items. I can't wait. I have that have to have section. So this week, 6 weeks worth of what's on sale, 1 week worth of what I have to have. Next week, 6 weeks worth of what's on sale. You're kind of repeating. Once you go through a few weeks, you're really going to start to feel like you have a stockpile building. So this is where I would recommend that you look into getting like a can shelf. We have, and I'll stick the link in the video, but we have a can shelf rack. I don't know what what the official term would be for this, but it lets you rotate through your cans pretty easily, and that's what I would recommend that you grab. So I'm going to stick in the one that we have, and we have a couple of them. because I have a pantry that can hold a couple of them. If you don't, you just get one and you make it work. With the cans, I still would recommend that you put your newest ones towards the back, which can get tricky. It just is the best way to make sure that you are rotating through and not missing any of those items. So with that, that's going to be how you handle your cans. From there, I would just kind of get to where you're organizing and stacking like items together, always putting the newest items behind the older ones, so that we're bringing the older ones to the front. If you're buying too much, that's going to become a problem. You are going to not use it and it's going to expire, and that's not where we want to be. We don't want to have to throw away food. So that's going to help you keep tabs on too. Am I getting through these items before it comes on sale? I'm not buying enough. Or do I have a ton left over, it comes back on sale, and I still have some I never used, but I'm buying too much. Now, how do we figure out how much to buy? That's a tricky one when you're first getting started. So what I would recommend, maybe you take a sheet of paper, and we take that sheet of paper and we put it up on the wall or on the door to the pantry or on the inside of the cabinet. And for a week, you're almost going to make this like your calorie counting. But for a week, if I take something out of the pantry, I write it down. And once you write it down once, you could just put a tick mark next to it. But for a week, I write it down. I put tick marks so that by the end of the week, I realize, I used 4 cans of soup this week, or I used 4 cans of corn this week, whatever it might be. That's going to help you get an idea of 1 week's worth of what you eat. Now, obviously, you don't eat the same thing every single week, but it's going to give me an idea times 6 of what I would need as I'm first getting started versus just going in and guessing. You know what? I don't know how many cans of canned tomatoes we use. Let's just buy 40. Probably not that many. But that's what I would recommend to help you figure it out as you get started. So can I do well with my savings if I concentrate on just using printable coupons? I felt that it was wasteful with newspaper subscriptions, so I canceled it. I'd appreciate your expert opinion. So Christina, yes, I do feel like you can do and not miss out too much with just printable coupons. So on the shopping lists on Southern Savers, you may not have realized this, but at the very top of the shopping list, there's a box that says coupons, and it's a drop-down box, and you can select what you want to hide. And one of the things that we've given you the option of hiding is insert coupons, so that all you're left with are printable coupons. So if I click that hide insert coupons box, all of the Sunday insert coupons will go away off your shopping list. You'll just be left with printable coupons, and you can kind of go your merry way. But it is a good way for you when you make your shopping list and you pull it all to a shopping list on Southern Savers. Now you can watch, click the button, see what all disappears, unclick the button, see what all comes back, and it'll just sit there and rotate through. But it's a good way for you to get an idea of how much you're missing out on versus, I still got a ton. I don't really need the inserts. The hard part with inserts, and maybe this is what you would do, is you don't do the subscription, but you look at the preview that I post every Wednesday afternoon. And look at that and say, we've got really high value coupons coming out on brands that I love. Maybe that's the week that you head out and you get a newspaper versus getting one every single week, because you would definitely miss out on some super high value coupons that we've seen recently in the paper, like $3 off of Maybelline mascara, $3 off of any CoverGirl. My husband uses Zantac, $3 off of Zantac. Now, some of those are available as printables too. You would be good, but it just gives you an idea. So look at that preview before you decide, I'm totally going to give up inserts. Just skim it once a week. Do I want to get it this week, or do I want to just ignore it? And that would be a good way to go. Kim, I grab my coupons from SundayCouponInserts.com. And I have a standing subscription to them. So that would be where I would recommend that you go if you are looking for grabbing inserts in bulk. So I'm still trying to find, let's see, the link to the can organizer for you guys. It's hard to always multitask, but I think I've got the one that we bought. So I will stick that in the chat for you in just a second. So that is where we get our coupons though, SundayCouponInserts.com. Let's see. My Kroger no longer accepts more than 2 printable coupons. Yes, Jennifer, that is the case at all Krogers. They only accept 2 like printable coupons per item, and that's going to be with all of them. Let's see. And that's across the board. So 2 like printable coupons. It is not 2 printable coupons per transaction total, and I can't read the rest of your comment yet, but I will be able to in just a second. So with stores that are doing that, if your store is saying we only take 2 total, that's a corporate issue. I would call Kroger corporate and tell them, but it's 2 like printable coupons per transaction, meaning I could use 2 coupons for this, I could use 2 coupons for this, so I could still have a lot of printable coupons, but only 2 total per item or per like item. And with that, the reason that they're doing that is to kind of cut back on people that are making copies. Technically, if I'm getting my printable coupons the right way, I should only be allowed to print 2 per computer. So that's their logic there. If you wanted to use more than 2, you would need to do that in a separate transaction or take someone else with you and your husband checks out in another line. But technically, it would probably just need to be another day to use any more. So Stacy says, I'm within 5 to 10 minutes of a Kroger, Publix, and an Ingles. Which do I recommend? I used to be exclusive to Publix, but I've been shopping Kroger and decided to try Publix again. But found out, let's see, it has a hard time with me getting to see if anyone leaves a long comment, I can't see the end. So you found out something about Publix, but I don't know what it was. What I would recommend, Stacy, between those 3, in all honesty, is rotating between Publix and Kroger just like you are. If Kroger is running a mega event, which is buy 5 items and save $5 instantly. There's a new one that starts on Wednesday in Kroger that's buy, I think it's 6 items and save $3 instantly. If they've got a mega event, those items are on sale. Then you're saving an additional 50 cents or $1 depending on the mega event. And then you have a coupon. Those make for really, really great deals. So I would at least look at the Kroger list with mega events. Publix, though, with all of their buy one, get ones, also has some really great sales. Kroger doesn't have buy one, get ones, maybe like 5 in the whole store. So on a week that Kroger doesn't have a mega event, I would totally be in Publix. There's no reason to be in Kroger on a non-mega event week. There's just, the sales aren't there and the promotions are missing. So I would bounce back and forth between the 2 of them. Let's see. So Shanna's questions, I heard you say not to cut them ahead, and I've tried all the systems and the dreaded binder, and the other night I was literally on the floor at Harris Teeter for hours. So kind of realizing that it's a little hard to get going and to tailor it all to everything. So with the not cutting ahead, the easy part there, Shanna, at 2, if you need to, is that maybe you just cut what you can gather. And this is kind of how I got started when my kids were really little. So now I have 2 11-year-olds and an almost 9-year-old. They help. They do a lot of the cutting. But when it was just me and a lot of little people, or what felt like a lot of little people at the time, I would set a timer. And when that timer went off, I was done. If I still had more coupons to cut, it didn't matter. We were going to the store. Because after a certain point, which for me with that timer was 45 minutes, after 45 minutes of me trying to cut coupons and children running around me, I had lost my mind. And I was no longer happy mom, and shopping was no longer fun. So I wouldn't try to, keep going long term and wear yourself out. So maybe you do go set the timer. When the timer dings, you know what? If I missed 5 coupons, yes, it was a $5 savings that I could have had. But at some point, there comes I've lost my sanity and it's not worth $5. The perk of setting the timer, though, is that you do get faster. You learn how to kind of keep your time efficiently to get the coupons cut that I need to get cut. And maybe you make a blend of some of the systems too. Maybe you cut the coupons you know you're going to use and you stick those in a little bag to take with you, and just come and get the ones that I didn't expect to use. You can kind of make it work between those. Okay, I think we're doing good on everybody's questions. It seems like nobody in my apartment complex keeps the mailers, so you end up with dozens of Red Plums and Procter & Gamble's. And Shanna, in that answer, that can also be part of your stress. The more coupons that you get, the more stressful that this is. You've got to keep up with them. You have to cut all of them. So I would recommend for most folks, and I don't know how many people you're shopping for on a regular basis, but most households, really just two sets of inserts is enough for most households. Now I have 5 kids, so I do get 4 sets of inserts because if I wanted to buy enough soup to last us a week, I need more than 4 cans. If we were to eat soup every day, that's not going to work. But the more inserts that you're getting, the more time that's going to take. So that might be where I would tell you to kind of tone it down as well if it's really, really stressing you out. Has CVS changed with spending, getting the $5 extra care box when you spend $20? I was told by a manager that the $20 has to be after coupons in the extra care box. It does not, Tiffany. I actually just emailed CVS corporate last week asking them if they had made changes because of people being frustrated by some issues as they were in the checking out in the store. And from corporate even said, no, there's not been any change whatsoever. Those deals are all where you're earning the rewards before any coupons. So hopefully, it was just the manager saying that, but you should definitely still be earning them. So Lauren says, today I went into CVS and I grabbed 2 Dimetap Kids Allergies for $5.99, and I used 2 $3 off coupons. My total was $5.98, and I tried to use a $5 extra care buck, but the register voided the extra care buck. Why does this happen? So you should have been able to pay with that $5 extra care buck. I'm not sure why it wouldn't have taken it. In general, with the $5 extra care bucks, as long as your total is $5, not including tax, you shouldn't have any issues with it whatsoever. Now, what can happen at CVS, and I'm not sure if this is what happened or not, is if the cashier accepts the coupons and then for some reason needs to back out of the coupons and then tries to come back in, the computer can think that you've already used your extra care buck and it won't let you use it again, even though you didn't use it. And that has happened to me numerous times. When it does, a lot of times the cashier just gives me $5 off, which is kind of fun because you still have that extra care buck. It's going to be reactivated in your account in just a couple of minutes. So I don't know if that's possibly what happened. They went in, they were checking out, and then they'd activated them, and then they went back out and voided them all back in. When that happens and tries to bring the extra care bucks back in, it won't automatically. So I'm going to guess that was the main issue. Let's see. Do we do workshops up east around the tri-state area? When you say tri-state area, Diana, I think you've probably left my south radar, so I would need to know what tri-states those were. My tri-state area would be like North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. As far as north as I've been is Kentucky. As far west as I've been is Mississippi. I'm always up for going anywhere, but I've just never been farther north than those areas for now. So Rob, the Southern Savers NBC segment, yes, I actually have it saved in the list of videos on our Facebook page. So after the video tonight, if you wanted to pop over and look at the videos, we uploaded it. So you can watch that NBC segment if you want to. We've got a copy for you. Okay, to jump over to the YouTube side of things, sorry guys, it's hard for me to keep up with everybody's comments. Does CVS print different coupons in different locations? I don't always find the deal listed because the coupon doesn't print when I scan my card. So Barbara, they actually scan different coupons based on different people. The easiest way is to log in to your CVS account, and then once you're logged in, you can click on Extra Care Bucks or Extra Care, and you'll see right there all the coupons that are going to print for your account. And that way you didn't even have to get to the store and be disappointed. You knew before you got to the store whether or not that coupon was going to be in your account when you got to the store. So I would recommend that instead of being disappointed. So Diana, I've definitely never made it to New York, New Jersey area, or the Connecticut area for that matter either. I do head up there on a regular basis for conferences, so maybe we can add one in. I'll be up there in July, so we can just meet in Manhattan while I'm up there for a conference and have a little tiny New York powwow if you want to. But we can try to make it happen. If you've got some ideas as to where we can have a class, it would be a fun trip to be able to make. Let's see. I tried the binder for 6 months when I first started and hated it. And I agree. Most people can't keep up with that. So if you are kind of stressed out about the organization, going with the accordion system, and we just did how to organize coupons last week or 2 weeks ago now. So pop back over and look at that past week's video if you're watching and you have no clue what I'm talking about. We went through all the different ways. So Stephanie says, I haven't found that my CVS app shows me all of my deals. I've gotten more coupons from the coupon machine in the store than I have in the app, and different deals on the app than in the store at the machine. So one thing you can do, and I don't want to encourage this really, is that if you go paperless, Stephanie, all your offers will show up in the app. So for me, I'm paperless. Now, once you go paperless, you've done it, and you can't go back. There is a button at the bottom that will say stop paperless offers, but it lies. They keep coming, and nothing will print at the coupon printer in the store anymore for you. They're the only exception to that being the ones that are advertised in the weekly ad. So if you see in the CVS ad, like everybody's getting a 30-cent off of a 2-liter soda, that offer won't ever show up in your paperless Extra Care account, but everybody gets it. So anything else, though, they're all going to be loaded in there. Does Kroger have certain days that they put items on closeout? It really does vary by store, and that's a great way to save on meat in a lot of Krogers and even Bi-Lo and Dixie's, not Publix. But to ask your store, when do you mark down meat? When do you mark down produce or other items? And they usually have set days that they do most of that. So for me, my Kroger that we used to live near was always on Monday mornings. So I need to be in Kroger on Monday morning if I wanted to get all of the marked down meat. The other items through the store, just the general grocery items, can be anytime when corporate sends a closeout notice and it just shows up in their scanner as they're pricing and replacing tags. So there's not a certain day on the canned and packaged items as much as there is on the produce and the meat items. Okay, I think that I'm mostly caught up. Would I recommend going paperless? Stephanie, I would not, honestly, because of a quirk with Extra Care Bucks and paperless. So if you're paperless on CVS, all of your Extra Care Bucks now go straight to the app, but there's a quirk, and you have to log in after you shop and click the button to send that Extra Care Buck to your card. If you don't and you forget, your Extra Care Buck will expire in 7 days. And normally you'd have 30. If it printed on your receipt, it wouldn't expire for 30. But the fact that you only have 7, if you can't remember to do that, you will lose a ton of Extra Care Bucks because of it, and they won't put them back on your card. So that's a really big warning. If you can remember, then great. I don't have to remember my paper anymore. They're saved to my account. They automatically come off. That's super easy. But I have to remember to activate them and load them to my card, and that's kind of crazy. Michelle says, when I order my inserts, do they come in the same week as the newspaper inserts? Yes, Michelle. Actually, in my kitchen right behind me, they just came today. So they're yesterday's inserts. I get them on Monday. So it's not a big wait at all. They mail them on Saturdays from Florida, and for me, that's a 2-day, and they're back in I have them. So Amber asks, you can't do duplicate transactions at the register when activating your extra care bucks. Yeah, it's very hard to do multiple transactions at CVS when you're paperless because I have to open up the app, I have to activate them and send them all back to my card, and it's going to take about a minute for them to show up in the app. Now, if you wanted to do a transaction and then jump to the back of the line, activate them, and then do another transaction, it will work, and I've done that recently, like if I'm in a CVS that's busy. But at the same token, I've also been keeping a lot of extra care bucks lately to where some weeks I just do it all in one transaction. But if you're trying to do multiple, paperless is really tricky to do. So Maureen's saying Bilo is now a Harvey's here, and that happened in a lot of places, Maureen. So if you haven't noticed, for any of my folks that are near one of those Bilos that were just turned into Harvey's, we now have Harvey's on Southern Savers. We used to cover them years ago, and we took them off, and so we've put them back on now that there are more Harvey's for folks in various areas. So hopefully that helps you out. Okay, I told you guys, and we only have 9 minutes, but in the title, I told you we were going to talk meal planning, and I haven't really gotten there yet, so I do want to talk meal planning for just a second. In terms of meal planning and couponing, if you're thinking, how do I map out what I'm going to eat with shopping on a 6-week cycle, I do want to point out that you actually don't have to. So if you are not a big meal planner, you'll actually save just as much money whether you meal plan or you don't, because now we all have like 10 meals that we rotate through on a regular basis. You know what it is that you're probably wanting, and so if you were to walk into my pantry, I've got 6 weeks worth of anything that we will eat on a regular basis. I don't have to have anything. We really could have anything for dinner at any point. We're going to have it in the pantry. So that's the perk of stockpiling, and that's why I thought I would throw these together, though we still ran out of time with extra questions, is that because I've been stockpiling, because I've been buying enough items. Yay, Chris, thank you. I'm going to chime in. I'm glad that you're going to be able to be there. I am going to be in Birmingham, by the way, since Chris just commented that, next week. So I've got all my items. I've stocked up enough for 6 weeks. Then if I'm sitting here and saying, you know what do I want for dinner tonight? It's all in the pantry. So I don't really have to menu plan so that we don't have that, oh, we're out of something, we can't have that. We have it all. If you want to menu plan, though, a few things that can help you. First, I guess, before we go full menu planning, maybe the first thing you try isn't mapping out menus. It's actually pre-cooking some things just to make cooking a little easier in the evenings, because that's really why I would encourage you to menu plan. It's not to save money. As long as you're stockpiling correctly, we're saving plenty. The meal planning side to that's not going to add to the savings. We're really shopping based on the sale, not based on what I want to eat. In some senses, meal planning can actually hurt you. I'm going to want this for dinner this week, so I'm going to put it on my shopping list, but it's not on sale. That's not where we want to be. So what I would encourage you, if you're wanting to just save some time, is that we go ahead and we pre-cook some chicken breasts and some ground beef. We go ahead and pre-chop up some onions and have a lot of this pre-cooked and ready to go in the freezer, to where I still have to cook. I didn't pre-cook meals, but I pre-cooked ingredients or pre-prepared ingredients and have them ready to go in the freezer, so that side of things is a little easier for you. Asking what are our go-to meals. For us, we probably have about 10 things that we rotate through. Spaghetti totally makes the list. I will confess, tonight was Hamburger Helper. We all have just Hamburger Helper days in our lives, and that was today. So that's probably a once a month for us that we may go Hamburger Helper. But spaghetti, tacos, we like Mexican in general, so we may do quesadillas, or we have we call it burrito casserole, but it's like burrito lasagna with layered tortillas and different layers that have various things. Another one that we make is like little tiny meatloafs. I call them Lipton onion soup burgers because they have Lipton onion soup mix in them. And then a lot of times our meals are very simple. So it's a meat, it's a rice, and it's a veggie. We got into that habit when my husband went gluten-free a few years ago, and we've just kind of kept in it. Rice is super cheap. If we don't do rice, then it's going to be mashed potatoes or a baked potato, but that's really it. So it's a meat, a starch, and a veggie. Nothing super fancy, but with small kids, if I took the time to make super fancy, they wouldn't eat it anyway. So why spend the time? But that tends to be our rotation. Casserole-wise, we love chicken pot pie and poppy seed chicken, so those will get into the rotation as well. But still cooking probably from like 3 different types of meat on a regular basis: chicken, beef, and pork. We stockpile those as well, buying in bulk through Zaycon or through a local chef store. And then whenever I need those items, we always have them too. So that would be what I would recommend. Now, in terms of helping you, if you do want to try to menu plan, I would recommend, so some folks will go huge and they'll menu plan for a whole month. That is not how you should start. I would recommend, if you're really wanting to get into the menu planning side of things, that you do map out what you're going to eat for about a week. That we sit there and we say, you know what, just a week's worth of meals, and maybe you don't even assign them to a day. You just say, you know what, we're gonna map out 7 meals for this week, and with those 7 meals, they aren't assigned to a day. I'm just gonna have them and make sure I have those items. And the reason I say that is just 1 week and not assigned to a day is that a lot of folks, and we're included in this, you get home from work or whatever your activities were, and you look at it and you're like, I don't want that for dinner. Well, if it's not assigned to Monday, it's just on my list of what I plan to eat this week, then I feel like I've got a little bit more flexibility, and I don't feel like I'm stuck in this corner of I really don't want to eat that right now. So that's a really great way to get started, because you're not stuck in, I mapped it out, especially not going all the way out to a whole month. Now, when you become a meal planning pro and you do this and you love it and it's just who you are, go month, embrace it and love it. But for a lot of us, after a week or so, you're still going to be like, we're out. I don't even want to eat what I mapped out. So for our family, we aren't menu planners. When I did map it all out, we never ate what I had mapped out. So I do now in my mind have that, okay, here are the ideas for the next 7 days. And the main reason I've started to do that is just so that we have the produce to go along with them. If I want to have fresh asparagus, or really what it is for me, I want to make sure that I bought fresh asparagus and I don't let it go bad in the fridge. Then I go ahead and map out those 7 meals, putting in that fresh produce so that it doesn't go bad before we eat it. It's on the menu. I'm not going to forget that it's somewhere in our fridge. And I don't know if other people have that struggle or not, but in our fridge, because we have chickens, which I've shared with you guys on previous nights, my fridge is full of eggs. So even this morning, we were making some deviled eggs for a little party, and I looked at my husband like, I don't know where the relish is. It's in there somewhere behind all the eggs. So if you're like that and you're losing some produce, that can be a perk of meal planning, or just mapping out those produce items so that we don't forget them and then they get uneaten. Because I hate throwing away a bag of salad or something like that you grabbed and you had every intention of eating, and then you never sat down and ate it. So that might be the side of menu planning that we could use and other folks could too, just making sure they're not missing out on that produce. And Amber, I would be with you that we should all try to have at least 1 slow cooker meal or Instapot if you're going to go that route every week, just to make something even easier too. And Shanna, yeah, that's the reason why I more focus on stockpiling versus menu planning, because stockpiling, I've got whatever we want to cook, but I'm not going to have to end up throwing away things that I bought specifically for a meal and then we never ate it. It's in the stockpile and we're good whenever we want to eat it, but we're not stuck throwing it away because we didn't have that meal. So Fatima, that's a great question. What day should I be making my list and shopping? So many people ask this question. There's really no amazing day to go to the store. Sometimes just going on the first day of the weekly ad, they will have more in stock, but you could always get a rain check. So I'm not really going to miss out on a deal. I'm just going to get a little piece of paper that lets me get the deal later. So if that's you, you'd go on Thursday or Friday, whatever you want. For some people, anyone over the age of 55, I would recommend that you go shopping on senior day. So all of the grocery stores in the Southeast have Senior Day, unless you live in Florida, by the way. There's no Senior Day in the state of Florida for most grocery stores. I'm pretty sure it would bankrupt them. So no Senior Day. But everywhere other than Florida, go shopping on Senior Day. That's going to give you an additional 5% off of your groceries before coupons. And it's a great way to save a little bit more. With that, if you're not a senior, maybe you don't want to go shopping on Senior Day. It's kind of on the crazy side. But there really isn't a better day over another. For me, my favorite day, if I got to pick it, would actually be Monday, because the ad's been running for a few days, but now I have more coupons. I got to kind of hold out until my Sunday coupons came in, and now I could go shopping. I tend to do most of my shopping on Wednesday just because Mondays are busy, but Monday would be my preferred day if I got to pick, if all the worlds aligned correctly. Donna's asking, can we send troops printed coupons? So you can send the troops your expired insert coupons, but no, Donna, they cannot use expired printable coupons because they can print them themselves. So they can use expired coupons from your inserts though, and that's what I would definitely send over to them, but not the printable ones. Okay, we've hit our mark, and yes, thank you, Shanna. So Senior Day is Tuesday in some Kroger's, Thursday for Harris Teeter. It really depends on the store. Kroger in my neck of the woods, which is South Carolina, is on Wednesday. Bi-Lo Publix is also on Wednesday. So it does differ. You want to check with your local store as to when Senior Day is and not miss out because it is an extra savings for sure. So we will be back next Monday night. We'll maybe talk more meal planning, and I don't have a topic set up specifically. So if there's something that you want to talk about, always send me an email, and I can definitely make it our main topic for the week. Diana, one I can answer yours super fast. If you are regularly in Target, yes, I do recommend getting a red card. The red card saves you 5% off of every purchase you make forever. Plus you get free shipping from Target.com on any order size. So the red card's totally worth it in the end if you're semi-regularly in there. Okay, so next Monday night, 8:30, same time, same place. If you've got any questions between now and then, you can always email me, jenny@southernsavers.com, or send me a message directly through Facebook. I can handle them either way. I hope you guys have a great week and have fun saving some money.